What's up, guys? So, we got another car right here. I'll show you what the heck this one's about. This is a 1992 Honda Civic. It's a hatchback VX model. It's the lightest weight model they made. And show you guys a little bit of the build overview for this one. This is pretty wild what we put into this thing. Let's take a look. Alright. First off, we've got a full-size radiator, AC condenser, and all that stuff in the very front of a Civic hatchback. That's already a lot that most people can't do. In the very front, I actually got an oil cooler. Okay, that oil cooler is the same as you would find in like an FC Rx7. Then we've got a dual 10AN catch can with its release. We've got brand new starter wire jumping off from battery, jumping over to alternator. So it's a 2-gauge mil-spec wire from ProWire. The engine itself is a H23A VTEC, built by NomisInd. He did the transmission as well. Fantastic engine builder. I'm sure you guys can see that. That is a RLZ race head, CNC ported, with a set of DDTech Stage 3 cams. Now it's NomisInd cams. He bought the rights to that. With a Rywire engine harness. Now the Rywire I'm going to take out right now, and I'm going to trim out a few wires, extend them out off of a Deutsch 12 pin, like a DT 12 pin, and so I'll extend my air inlet all the way to the box because I like having a direct non-heat soaked air temp. Cruise control is still not finished up here, but that will be part of the thing. We'll have this 421 header, you can tell, fits in there with AC compressor, single fan. The system is not finalized, it's not bled. The Bro Performance H2B kit is redone on this one. I did it myself, not a improperly installed from a previous shop or 2 previous shops. Let's see, we've got a custom configuration that I did here with the brake system to make this fit. This is an RRC, not RBC, RRC, and that goes out to a 72mm K-tune throttle body, which you'll see right here. So this guy is opened up, added Plenum volume, which you can see the welding right here. Okay, that was done by SBS Performance, Elvis Lee, who did a bunch of different port work on the inside. Really, the idea being to pick up a ton of torque on these motors, and somehow I got it to stuff inside this engine bay. So that's awesome. The engine overview. So I told you guys the cams, told you who built it. The valve train is actually a tool steel retainer. It's a Ferrea +1 intake, factory size exhaust. They're both the 6,000 plus competition, whatever, the highest version of the Ferrea valve stuff for the valves. The pistons are a custom Wiseco. Ended up at 12.95 to 1 or something like that. And the rods are Carrillo Pro SAs. So an ultra lightweight balance assembly. Really expecting this motor to do about 9,000 RPM. Kind of see where it falls off, go from there. And yeah, I think we'll get some pretty beast power to the thing. And then for the transmission, it's a custom final drive ratio 4.05 with a OS Giken LSD. The ratios are a Civic Type R, because originally it's a Civic Type R transmission. It even says right here. Yeah, so it's a Civic Type R transmission with an LS fifth gear. And this combined with a 4.05 final drive ratio mates to H23A VTEC really, really well, because that thing makes a ton of torque for this chassis, so you might as well get speed out of it. That's kind of the general overview of the engine and transmission. You've got a set of dingies, because on the mountains, lighting is king. I did a little lip thing here, and nothing too crazy there. Tried to retain as much as I could for convenience and stuff like that. It's a big brake kit in the front with their V3s from KW. You got full black gray interior with FC seats, which I have a new upholstery kit for these things, so these will look badass once they're done. Some guy took a gray seat and spray painted this. It looks terrible, and it will leak on your clothing. So, you know, if I didn't want to look like my seats, I want to change that upholstery. Let's see, and then the interior, I kept the original Integra with cruise control. This is my first car, steering wheel. So I had this steering wheel for 140,000 miles. I figured try transferring it over. Then I did this, which is a little carbon fiber overlay. And then this thing did not have a tack. So this is now the Civic SI version. And I put a Russian-made lighting kit. I haven't even powered the car on, see how it's down here. But the Russian lighting kit is like an LED inlay that goes all the way around each one of the gauges. And it's back inside there. So that's going to look really cool. I've got a few pictures, but trust me, I'll just wait till I send it up, and I'll show you guys properly. But it's a full dash here. I did some, these are actually, inside here are some very, very nice speakers from Audison. They're Audison Hertz. And this is a combo shifter we did. This is like the most perfect feel Honda shifter I've ever used. So we have, I don't even remember what brand this was. This is like, whatever this K stands for. I'm sure you guys know this by watching the video. We have this part of the front and upper. Then down below is like 3 different shifter parts with a combination of bronze and polyurethane, and just the way that we did it, the feel and the feedback is incredible. And then like in gear is tight. You know, like there's zero play. So the box is all brand new and rebuilt. It's incredible. Just way, way, way overbuilt. Of course, gotta love stuff that works from the 90s. And that's pretty much it for the build overlay. It's got full seats, full interior, little something hiding in the back, which I'll leave it out of the video. And a little I just got this little cover for privacy, which is great. So that's it. This is my Civic EG hatch. So figured I'd give you guys a little overview. My plan here is to eventually have one of the greats from each decade. So I've got the 90s, which a lot of you are going to say, you know, go with other cars, this and that. Honestly, the 92 Civic Hatchback, like what I have here, is probably my favorite car from the 90s. That, I mean, a lot of you guys are rotary guys, and you're going to say, why not the FD Rx7? I don't like the fit and finish of the FD Rx7. I don't like the feel of it. I think the chassis has issues. But maybe that's too confrontational. It's not for me. That's more for you guys, less for me. I'm okay with it. So There's a lot of amazing cars from the 90s. This is my favorite. This is what I've had. The heart and soul of this thing came from the Integra, which you guys probably haven't seen in a while. This has been it's been retired. So the poor Integra, every single seam on that body was separated from mountain driving. So I would be driving around and just like constant fluctuations because the body was tired. I did as best I could for maintaining the car, upkept as best I could, but it was time for it to go. It was exhausted. It said, "Hey, I'm done. Leave me be." And so the heart and soul of that car went into this with all the suspension stuff, all the custom stuff that I did over the last, it's been 12 years of developing a chassis. So all of that went into this EG hatch, which was done by Nomis Industries. Simon is just the most amazing person to have in your corner. Amazing friend. He's taken care of me when I couldn't do anything myself, and I was simply unqualified, inept, whatever you want to call it. So, going back to my point here is, that's my favorite car of the 90s. You guys have seen the Rx7 by now. That's my favorite car of the 80s. Okay? And eventually, maybe it's going to be something like a Pantera for the 70s. There's a power Ram from the 60s. And that's probably where I'd end that. I don't really think I need anything in the 50s. But I'd go, my garage, my dream garage, would be Power Ram from the 60s, Di Tommaso Pantera from the 70s. They've got the Rx7 right here for the 80s, and the Civic for the 90s. 2000s, nothing good came from that. Later than that, really don't see a point, except for maybe the more recent modern stuff. But that's my quick little run through of the Honda Civic. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's I'm gonna try to do a little bit of these one-shot style videos and see if you guys like these. You get to see my handiwork with the cleanliness of the cars, the design, the layout, stuff like that. And while I don't ever plan on doing this full time as far as the construction building of cars, I do tuning every single day. So hope you guys can appreciate this. A lot of love and passion goes into this stuff, and I figured, I've got this camera equipment, might as well use it. And that's it for now. Peace, y'all. See you in the next one.